And I see more people are joining. Welcome. We're just giving it a couple more minutes till we officially get started. But thank you all for being here so much. And I just sent a message in the chat. It would be great if folks want to send in their questions using the chat, say hello in the chat, and definitely let us know if there's any technical issues on your end of things tonight in the chat. We actually, for some reason, our video has been disabled for this meeting, so I apologize that you can't see us, but hopefully you can hear us and you can see our slides. All right. So Anik, I think we're just 1 minute past 6. So if you want to get us started, you can kick us off.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining our webinar for tonight. This is Accentria Foster Care. If you came here to attend the webinar for Accentria Foster Care, we wanted to let you know that you are in the right place. Our webinar starts from 6 p.m. to 6:30 p.m., only 30 minutes. And the topic for tonight is how to help kids in foster care. So our agenda for tonight is as follows. We'll start with introduction between me and my colleague and manager, and then we'll talk about who Accentria Foster Care is, ways to help, and then we'll have a Q&A moment at the end. I also apologize if you hear a child in the background. She's very loud right now, but yeah. Couldn't I see stuff? Something in the middle of the screen. Yeah, there you go. So I'll start by introducing myself. My name is Anik Uwineza. I am a foster parent recruitment coordinator for an Unaccompanied Refugee Minors program. I have been working with Accentria since March 2021. My colleague can go ahead and introduce herself too.
Sure. Hello, everyone. And again, I'm so sorry that you can't see us. Technical difficulties with this platform. We were actually just talking about how we're going to start using Zoom for our webinars in the future. So if you ever want to come to another one of our webinars, we can definitely let you know about those, and we'll be switching over to Zoom soon and still kind of getting used to the new technology that's out there. But my name is Colleen Straff. I'm the Community Outreach Manager for Accentria Foster Care in Massachusetts. We have 2 different foster care programs that we'll introduce to you in just a moment. But if you aren't familiar with the broader Accentria Care Alliance, we are a nonprofit human service agency in New England. We're one of the largest human services agencies in the area. We're in all of the New England states but Rhode Island. And our mission at Accentria is to empower individuals to thrive, really. And we do that through a lot of different programs. We have services for new Americans, our refugee resettlement program for adults and families. We have a Forsberg program for adults with disabilities. We have a language bank of interpreters and translators, all sorts of different services. And but tonight, of course, we'll be focusing on our foster care programs in Massachusetts that are serving children in need. So thank you all for being here.
Thank you, Colleen.
So with that being said, I was going to just give an introduction to one of the 2 foster care programs here at Accentria, intensive foster care. also known as IFC. This is a unique form of foster care. If you're familiar with traditional foster care through the Department of Children and Families, intensive foster care at Essentia steps in when children have more needs than what the department can support in their regular level foster homes. So intensive foster care is just one step up in a level of care to ensure that children with more needs can still be successful in a family setting. And we do that by having a really great support team that wraps around the family and the child, especially through our intensive case managers that visit the home once a week rather than just once a month, as is done in other types of foster care. Intensive foster care has weekly visits to really help everybody succeed and provide all the supports. So we coordinate with DCF workers, therapists, mentors, psychiatrists, educational workers, whoever is on that youth's team or that child's team, we are there helping to coordinate. And really, we just want our children to have safety, stability, and permanency, permanency being finding those lifelong connections, and whether that be working towards reunification or possibly adoption. We kind of do it all depending on what the child needs. And so that's a great program for any of you that maybe feel like foster care is, you've heard that people struggle with the lack of support in some forms of foster care. This type of foster care is the opposite. We really pride ourselves on providing high quality support. And so when we're talking about how to help children in foster care, it's good to know that there are different types of foster care out there, just as there are different types of children out there. And so we'll frame that around, ways that you can help those kiddos. But now I'll turn it back over to Anik for our other program.
Thank you so much, Colleen. So the other program is Unaccompanied Refugee Minors program, URM. So in the URM, we serve youth, typically the adolescents. The age range is between 13 and 21. And these youth come to the United States before their 18th birthday. And they come by themselves without a parent or a legal guardian to take care of them. What they all have in common is that they come here seeking safety, and they come in from different places of the world. We have some that come from Central American countries, like Guatemala, El Salvador, Honduras. We also have the ones that come from Congo, Ghana, and other countries, or Afghanistan. Recently, we've been having many from Afghanistan. So when they get here, we help put them in foster care, and the goal is for them to learn and work on their independent skills and form long-lasting relationships with their foster families. So while they're in the foster families, they attend school, they learn English, they might learn how to drive, they might get their first cars. So by their 22nd birthday, they transition into independent living. Some of them might be going to college or moving into their first apartments. Yeah, that's what Unaccompanied Refugee Minors program does for this youth. So, of course, Colin mentioned that there are many ways to help the youth in our foster care programs, but the main one is to become a foster parent. And to become a foster parent, there are many steps to it. There are about 8 steps to becoming a foster parent. But the first one is contacting us and expressing your interest in becoming a foster parent. Then we will reach out to you within 48 hours, and we will explain more about the program. You will have time to ask us any questions that you may have. We will also complete a phone screening to determine your eligibility. In the phone screening step, we ask you a number of questions that help us determine and also help you make a decision if you want to move forward, or if you don't think it's a good fit. You might find out from those questions as well. In the phone screening, we ask, for examples of the questions we ask in there is if you're 25 years old or above, and if you have a stable source of income, if you have an extra space in your home for use if you end up having one. We also ask if you have any background records that we should know about, and you have to have either a green card or be a U.S. citizen. And then yeah, other steps after that, when we finish the phone screening and we feel like you are a good fit and you feel like you wish to move forward, the next step then would be to send you an application. With the application form, we also send you the CORI consent form and a release of information form for you to sign. Then when you return your application, we will review it and we will run the background check. And then if everything goes well, then we move on to other steps like home assessments, and then you will take the training, a 30-hour training called MAP, Massachusetts Approach to Parenthood and Partnership in Parenthood. And then after that, we'll pass you over to our other colleagues in Family Resource who will complete the rest of the steps, where they will visit your home and learn about your family, learn about your interests, so they can best fit you with the youth that's the great fit for your family. Thank you, Colleen.
All right, thanks, Anik. Yeah, and so obviously our biggest need is for foster parents. We really lead with that. Even when we're talking about all the ways that we can help children in foster care, we definitely like to talk about foster parenting. We know some folks maybe have never considered it, maybe don't realize that they are eligible, maybe they have misconceptions. So if you've ever even thought about becoming a foster parent, the need is so dire right now all across Massachusetts and in Essentia. So it really is a good time to reach out to myself, to Anik, and find out more if that is something that you're possibly interested in. We say it's a no commitment phone call, but we know that some of you are here because you aren't able to be a foster parent, but you're interested in supporting youth in foster care in other ways. And so that's what we'll focus the rest of the presentation on, is some of these other ways. First off of our other ways to help youth in care is to volunteer as a tutor or a mentor. So as community outreach manager in my role, I do oversee the recruitment of foster parents and also volunteers. So right now, summer somehow is coming to an end, and we're now preparing for the school year. So we are enrolling new volunteer tutors right now to help our kids get the extra support that they may need, especially for our unaccompanied refugee minors program that Anik was talking about. Obviously working with immigrant youth, a very unique population of children in foster care that are both learning English and learning curriculum. So they really benefit from the additional support. So if that's something you're interested in, if you have experience as a tutor, or if you speak a second language, or if you maybe already have helped one of your own children through homework assignments, you could be a great fit for volunteering. We have some other volunteer opportunities, especially closer to the holidays. We do volunteer gift wrapping for gifts for the kids, all different types of volunteers. Some are ongoing, some are single day events, but if you're interested in that, you can definitely let us know. The third way that you can help children in care is by contributing to our scholarship fund. So maybe if you're hearing this and you're like, wow, I really don't have time to volunteer, I can't commit to being a foster parent. Of course, financial contribution is really valuable to these kiddos that, you know, they don't always have all of the natural supports of friends and extended family that can help them with different expenses. And so college is a big one where a lot of our kids are eligible for financial aid, but sometimes there's gaps that financial aid doesn't cover. And so our Accentria actually started a scholarship fund for youth, and you could contribute to that, especially if you're someone who's passionate about higher education. That could be a great fit. And in general, we accept financial contributions towards all sorts of things. Maybe you don't want to donate to a scholarship fund, but if there's another way you are interested in donating, you could definitely contact us about that. And then maybe you don't want to give financially, but you have items that you would like to pass on. We do accept needed items for the youth or in-kind donations. So we have an Amazon wish list or an Amazon registry really of items that the kids have requested. We also have needs throughout the year. I mentioned back to school, we accept backpack donations for backpack supplies for the kids. We accept donations of gently used kitchen items for some of our kids that are maybe going off to college, maybe moving into their first apartment, as there are young adults in foster care too. So there's all kinds of different items. We also have some clients that are parenting clients. We have a couple of young women right now that are expecting their first child, and they might need things that you'd expect to give like at a baby shower, like diapers, bottles, all kinds of different things. So if you're interested in giving items, even doing like a donation drive, if you're part of a broader church community, or if your kids have a school project for giving, we could definitely talk about that. I'm currently working with a Girl Scout, so we definitely try to get the community involved where we can. And the kids really benefit from these items, and it really means a lot to them when they can get the thing that they were needing. All right, and then the fifth and final way that we wanted to highlight for foster care, and I apologize if there's any background noise. I've got a crazy kitten who's running around behind me. But we are also looking for folks to help us spread the word. So one way or another you guys found this event, I'd actually love it if you put in the chat how you heard about us, how you found this webinar. I would love to know, just so we know which strategies are working. But we're doing webinars and info sessions on a monthly basis. We're constantly trying to get the word out there. We'll actually be at next week on Wednesday, we'll be at the Chelsea Family Resource Center in Chelsea, Mass at 6 p.m. And next Friday, we'll be at the Worcester Family Resource Center, both doing info sessions. So we try to be creative. I've spoken at churches. We do social media posts every Friday, but there's only so much that we can do as a nonprofit to spread the word. And we really rely on grass efforts outreach in the community. So again, if you're a part of a church community that doesn't know about the dire need for children in foster care, it would be great if you invited us to speak at your church or your book club, even your workplace. We've done presentations in corporate offices. If your office has like volunteer events yearly, like we can be a part of that. And really the message that we're trying to send is that there is a placement crisis. There is a dire need for new foster homes. And at Accentria, our goal was to license at least 12 new foster homes this year for our unaccompanied refugee minors program, for example. So far, it's August, we're 8 months into the year, more than halfway through the year, and we've only licensed one new foster home. So the need really is dire. So anyone out there that you speak to that you know that might be a good fit for this, definitely send them our way. You can forward our follow-up email after today. We'll be sending out the recording and our contact information. Forward that, challenge yourself to forward that to 5 people that you know, or post on LinkedIn. There are so many different ways to spread the word. So that really is, it might sound kind of simple or basic, but that would truly mean the world to us if you at least told, 5 people that you attended this webinar today, and help us. Because what we believe, and this has kind of become my motto over the years, is that talking about foster care helps kids in foster care. So that's advocacy, that's spreading the word, and that really does make an impact. So that is the conclusion of our webinar. So thank you guys for attending, kind of bearing with us through the technical difficulties, but we do have time now for some questions as we wrap up. So as I mentioned earlier on, if you look at your control panel on the right-hand side of your screen, you will see there is a chat or a questions bar that you can drop down and you can type a message in, and you can click enter in order to send us a message. So if anyone has any questions, feel free to put them in now, and I'll just give it a minute and see if any questions come in. And I have no idea if the chat is working. I haven't seen any messages come in, so hopefully you guys just don't have questions and we're not missing anything. But if you're having trouble with the platform like we are, definitely reach out to us after today. We are available via email, and of course, Anik's primary role is to speak to people in the community. So if you want to set up a one-on-one phone call with her, that's something we can definitely arrange. But I haven't seen any questions come in, so I don't want to take up any more of anyone's time. I think we can wrap up unless, Anik, do you have anything else you'd want to add?
No, I don't have anything else, but I am looking forward to hearing from some of these attendees.
Awesome, great. Well, again, thank you all so much. Like I said, talking about foster care helps kids in foster care. So just by being here tonight, you've become a friend of foster care. You are making a difference. So just keep learning, keep spreading the word, and we hope you have a great evening. Have a good night, everybody.
Good night.